Everyone, are you ready for the good shit? Because this is the good shit right here. The Post to Post podcast. This is the Carolina Bad Boy Chapel. Along with me is one half of the Brothers of Discussion, Will. What's going on, Will?
Oh, recovering from ACL replacement surgery. So I'm having a fun time hobbling around.
Them acai moonsaults, man, are rough.
I know.
Rough on the knees when you land, man.
I know. Those fucking. I'm gonna have to switch over to just doing Shining Wizards from here on out. For those that don't know, that's a great Muda reference.
Yes. What some people don't know is, unless you're like a hardcore wrestling fan, the whole idea of Muda and the mist, he always grabs the throat because that's where the poison sac is in his throat, and then he sprays the mist. They never say that in NWA.
Nope.
But everywhere else they do. The great Muda, Keith Muto, he's planning on retiring. He's
on his retirement tour now.
He's on the retirement tour now. How crazy is it in the same year that wrestlers do like retirement tours, or retirement shows, or like almost like rock stars do?
I know.
It's kind of crazy. We had the Ric Flair's last match pay-per-view, which by the way was a fucking awesome pay-per-view. So much good talent on that card. I know we talked about it already.
Yep.
But think about this. The Rock and Roll Express have been on there. They just come through recently to Mount Airy. I didn't get to go to the show, but
they've been on their retirement tour for 30 fucking years.
This year's the only time it's actually been advertised. I think is that, but but yeah. So they're on their retirement thing, and who was the third? It was the Great Muta, Muta, and now the Great Muta on his. How fucking insane! Like our heroes are dying. Will
they're not dying?
They're not dying, but they're
moving into management.
Yeah, they're getting an office job now.
Exactly.
They work for the office. So.
Oh man. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just like, Muda. God, I still haven't seen him wrestle, and I really would like to. I know he's doing a few.
When I was a kid, man, literally almost scared the shit out of me when I'd see him walk to the ring. Because you never seen anything like that before in pro wrestling. And the whole, the reveal after he takes the mask off and everything, and he was definitely one of my favorite. Like he just come in and just beat the shit out of Sting. Like, oh yeah, everybody was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
And that was a time when no one beat the shit out of Sting.
No one beat the shit out of Sting.
No fucking.
Come in and took his title. Like,
yeah. Muda said, "Your shit is mine."
But how many people did he inspire? You know what I'm saying?
Like, there's so many. I still think he got a lot of his shit from like the Great Sasuke and a few others.
Oh yeah, it was basically the Great Sasuke and the Great Kabuki just mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what the Great Muta is.
Yep.
But it worked because he was supposed to be the son, I think, of the Great Kabuki. It was how he was in the States. I don't know if that was in Japan or anything, but I think in the States that was because Kabuki did the mist too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But the Great Kabuki was nowhere near a great worker or as like the Great Muta. No, nowhere near. And in physicality either. That dude, no one. The fact that Kichimuto is just now retiring.
He's had 900 knee replacements, but
exactly. And I just remember, like, just 20 years ago, to me, he's an old man in wrestling, and I was like, how did he get bigger?
Yeah, no shit.
Like, there about 20 years ago, man, he was jacked. And now you see him now, he's on his retirement tour, and good for him. I mean, what else can that guy do? I mean, that character developed so much over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, legit, like, man, he run to the crowd, man. Japanese people be scattered.
Yeah.
You know, they were legit fucking scared of the Great Muta. I fucking love it. And
he had some of the best gear in the fucking business.
Oh, yeah. When he started doing masks instead of painting his face, oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Super cool.
Yeah, I made a custom of one of those a long time ago.
Nice.
The one where he was like the drowned pirate.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he had like the crab claws and everything coming up over the...
Oh, fucking cool.
Yeah, made that thing for a contest. Didn't win, but I got to the semifinals. Actually, no, that was the fucking finals, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a 4-way for the for the win. So, yeah.
Nice.
It was something else. But, yeah, I made that one. God, how long ago was that? Fuck, that was at least 4 years ago now, I think.
Wow.
But, yeah, I made his fucking trench coat thing with all the stuff. I made the pants, and I hand-painted all the fucking octopus tentacles and shit that were going up the pants onto them.
Damn, Will.
Put the elastic band in the pants so they fit properly.
Nice. That's it. That's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, it was a hell of a thing. All of it built off of a John Moxley head from the old Dean Ambrose figure, the one where his mouth's open and his tongue's out.
Yeah, cool.
That's perfect for a Muta one.
Doing a Muta figure, man. That's great.
But yeah, it was a fun time. Wish I'd done a little better on a couple bits, but hey, still look cool. But yeah, I think all their Rockstar exits, I feel like Jushin Thunder Liger's farewell tour made everyone else kind of do one.
Yeah, that one legit broke my heart. You know, that guy, I mean, from coming back from cancer and still coming back and still performing at a level that's just insane for someone his age.
Yeah, he's silly good.
It was, I mean, I remember really, like, when I knew he would wrestle Brian Pillman in WCW, I knew I was in for that was the match. That was going to be the best match on the card. And in terms of, like, telling a story and but still getting to see good high-flying stuff that we don't normally see in the States at that time.
Yeah.
And it still not getting the respect it deserves. So many other things overshadowed it, but, you know, still, those were some of the best matches, man. And then to see that he had just it's been like, 2-3 years now since he retired?
I think his retirement tour ended at the beginning of 2020. So yeah, like 2 years.
Did he lose to Minoru Suzuki? His last
no, I forget who his last match was against. But he wrestled Suzuki for a couple matches at the end of his tour, and he even brought back the Kishin Liger persona, his really raw and brutal one, and those two went to town on each other.
Damn.
Because that's the one where he doesn't wear the mask; he paints his face.
Yeah, I did see where he lost to Minoru, and everybody's chanting, and he's just like laying down in the ring, and Suzuki just comes over to him and sort of pats him or whatever, and it was like a show of respect. And I was just like, man, not a lot of things bring me to tears, but this is about to bring me to tears.
No joke, man. I miss Liger. I'm it's like I wish someone would
superhero. I mean, he was you know, he was doing shit you would see later on in like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or it just brought that cool that Japanese style of the aesthetic of like I mean, it's not just superhero.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because, I mean, he based it off of an anime/manga character of the same name. Yeah. And his original costume looked more like the character. And then it changed as it moved on and on, and he got known more for the name than the comic character he based it on.
Right.
But, yeah, I wish a company other than Storm Collectibles would make a figure of him. But I did order one of the Storm figures while it was on sale over the summer. I ordered the first appearance Liger figure.
Oh, cool.
Because it was like, I think it was almost 50% off.
Oh, wow.
So instead of being like $70, it was only 30 something. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. You twisted my arm.
So now that we've let people know about some of the best Japanese wrestlers that there is,
Yeah.
or were, or will ever be, let's get all American here.
Yep.
What's going on with Clash at the Castle?
Well, first, let's just go ahead and say, even though Raw's running right now, we're recording this on a Monday. Everyone will probably be hearing it like Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. Depends on how hard it is for me to get down fucking stairs.
So I was also going to say, this is the first real pay-per-view under the new regime, right? Like,
yeah, I'd say they have it.
I mean, the last pay-per-view, I mean, I know is what it is, but this one feels like he's got people in place now.
I think he's got a few more irons in this one than the SummerSlam.
Exactly.
It's not a full-blown Trips creation yet. I think the first one we'll see for that is Survivor Series. But this one's going to be pretty big because, I mean, they've been hyping it since the springtime, honestly. Because I feel like that was the first time we ever mentioned it. But going with what I was saying, we're recording this on a Monday.
Yeah.
There's wrestling all 7 days this week. Every single day there's a wrestling show on. From AEW through WWE. Every single day.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you've got Raw tonight. You've got NXT tomorrow. Dynamite on Wednesday.
SmackDown. SmackDown Friday, right?
SmackDown's Friday. Rampage is Friday, but I forget what the fuck is on Thursday. They might have counted Impact on Thursday just because Impact's got a show, or like just the regular Impact recording is on Thursday. Then you've got Clash at the Castle and All Out this weekend.
Nice.
So your weekend's completely booked. All Out, I think, estimated, God, it's going to be a fucking long-ass show. Clash at the Castle is going to be pretty short because it doesn't have a super huge card, but I was seeing estimates of like maybe the length of a Raw for Clash at the Castle and almost 5 hours for All Out.
Nice.
That could be including pre-show.
Pre-show.
Yeah. But every night this week, I think someone did the math. It's over 27 hours of wrestling.
Well, it's a good week for a pro wrestling fan, for sure.
No joke. I mean, just this past weekend, NWA 74 happened.
Yeah, I seen it. I was like, oh, I've got to watch this. I've been meaning to get back into NWA a little more because I was hardcore back into it when they started the YouTube shows, and it was like just like watching like the old Crockett stuff, studio shows. Yeah,
it's been. I've been trying to keep a little more track of it. Need to get back into it like we were when we first started the show, but it got harder to watch, and the fact that this is completely funded out of our pockets, I can't really afford to subscribe to every single wrestling thing there is.
Right.
Some of it I've got to,
Oh yeah,
pass on.
It was just the YouTube show, man.
Mm-hmm. When it was just a YouTube show, it was on.
Nice breath of fresh air in what was wrestling at the time.
But yeah, I mean, they've been telling some good stories over there. Trevor Murdoch retained his title against Tyrus.
Nice.
Camille retained her title against Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's still odd for me to hear Camille talk.
It is weird, man. It is weird.
I was like, he pulled off not talking pretty good there for a while.
Oh yeah, I know. No. But those are like the three big standouts that I remember. Oh, Homicide kept his TV title, I believe it was.
Nice.
So, everything's looking pretty good title-wise. Like, no one really changed, but all the matches apparently were pretty good, although I already saw some memes about Trevor Murdoch and Tyrus's title match. It was the picture of the promo card for the show, and it was their picture for the NWA World title. It said 10 pounds of gold, 600 pounds of shit. And I was like, come on.
That's terrible.
Trevor Murdoch knows how to work.
Oh, Trevor's great. Oh, yeah. Tyrus ain't bad
No.
at all. Tyrus, when he was in WWE,
That's really good play.
Really good wrestling friend of mine, Mr. Wright, Rob Wright, got to do some work with Tyrus in the ring. Not televised. He just come down kind of like a tryout thing, and then he was like an extra there on Raw that night. But he got in the ring with old Tyrus there, and he said, I ain't gonna lie, he said, dude, that was scary. He said, that's a big guy. But he was like, he said, you think he's just gonna mow through you, and he was like a feather. He goes like, I didn't know him, and they just said, hey, just go in there and do some stuff with Tyrus. Or whatever. What was he? He was a Funkasaurus then. What was
He was Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay, yeah. Mm-hmm. The Funkasaurus.
Yeah. But now that we've brought it back around to WWE, and the fact that we've been slipping, need to start watching some NWA.
Freudian slip there for us.
Yep. Clash at the Castle. So we're this week's episode is mostly just predictions for the two big pay-per-views. We know a whole bunch of stuff's been going on. We've seen tons of stuff. Tons. But we're going to focus mostly on this. So, Clash at the Castle. The card is as follows, starting from I'm going to assume these are pretty much in order. So, from main event down to the opener. Main event got McIntyre versus Reigns for the Undisputed Championship. Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's title. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Damage Control, a.k.a. Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai.
Yep.
Then you've got Riddle versus Seth Rollins. I hope they bring the mat back on Riddle now that Vince is gone.
Yeah.
And then you've got what's going to be the hardest hitting affair for the Intercontinental Championship. So the IC up for grabs, Sheamus versus Gunther.
Oh, man. What a way to start off with a good stiff match. You know these guys are going to be throwing some good live rounds at each other.
They're going to be deaf from all the chops.
Dude. Sheamus is already pretty well known as being like a good snug worker.
Mm-hmm.
You know. His stuff look, he's been doing the Greg the Hammer Valentine, forearm to the chest spot for how long now, and that's and he's smacking the fuck out of you with it.
No shit.
And we all know what Gunther brings to the table.
Oh yeah, he is Sir Chops a lot.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm stoked on this. Other things leading up to it. One thing that I was happy to see that Trips brought back, he started dressing Pete Dunne, Butch, in his bruiserweight gear again.
Yeah, I seen a recent thing about that.
So that's making me happy. Hopefully he's going to go back to being Pete Dunne before too long.
Well, I don't see Sheamus being hurt by losing, and I do see Gunther coming out on top because I think they're really trying to make this Gunther character work.
Yeah, the only thing I could see working against Gunther in this is just the fact that he has him and his homeboy.
Yeah, what's his name? We're terrible.
Yeah, I know. It's like I what's funny is I probably wouldn't remember it if I hadn't been trying to fucking talk about it.
Ludwig, yeah.
Yep, Ludwig. I couldn't remember if that was a first name leading into a last name or just straight up single name. That's what was, because I was like, I know it's an L name. I know it's like Ludwig or something, but I didn't want to say it. until I was 100% sure of myself, because I was like, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be fucking wrong.
I got to start watching more of the product because I want to see, which I've seen some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But I know there's going to be a lot more, you know, these slight little changes here and there. I mean, obviously, we're still going to get the WWE product.
Mm-hmm.
That they're still selling that style, but it needs some freshening up. It needs to, you know, nothing's better if WWE succeeds. You know what I mean? We want. I want every wrestling company to succeed.
Exactly. It's like we may sound like diehards one way or the other, but in actuality, we're old heads and we love it all. We just want the things that we grew up loving to be good again.
And we just need places for people to work.
Yeah.
So
100%. 2 companies is not enough. You need more companies.
Obviously, because, you know, WWE has split brands.
Mm-hmm.
AEW has, like, the most, like, intense roster right now for a big company. It's insane.
Yeah.
And you can't showcase everybody in either or, you know. And so we need these other companies. We need Ring of Honor back. Mm-hmm. We really need that to be more out there now, not just showcasing their titles on fucking another company's show. I think Impact has a really good roster of people.
They're so good compared to like some of their downtime over the past like 10 years.
Well, you know, I'm a fan of the early 2000s up to about sometime after the Hogan era. You know, when Hogan and Bischoff came in, I still liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go back and watch it now, you're like, man, this is really not that bad. And, you know, people like Dave Meltzer was giving it shit back in the day. And it's like, man, you go back and watch it now, and you're like, man, this is some pretty good shit. They were a little ahead of their time on some things. But like every other wrestling company,
yeah,
they had their faults. They had plenty of faults.
They did indeed.
But I want, you know, now, you know, from basically, you know, TNA to being Impact now, I think kind of hurt the brand in a sense where people got used to the name TNA. And Impact being the name of the show, and I think the whole switch kind of hurt it in a sense. But they've got a lot of great workers.
Oh yeah,
a lot of great workers.
And the fact that they're willing to share workers and let other people from other companies come in and work—that's a big thing.
Oh yeah,
that's setting them. I'll go ahead and say Ring of Honor, New Japan, and AEW apart from everybody else.
Yeah, hands down. We'll get to it sooner or later, but I like seeing some of the New Japan guys on American television.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the next match after
so before we go too far, so with the Sheamus and Gunther, aka Walter match, I think we're both going with Gunther.
Yeah, hands down.
Undoubtedly. He's going to hold that belt for a while. Sheamus, it never hurts him to put someone over.
No.
The only thing I see is it's not going to be a clean one, because I guarantee you Sheamus's crew, his old-timey street toughs group, with Butch, etc., are going to run in and do some business because they've been attacking Gunther and Ludwig lately on television. So I see something happening during that, but I don't think it's going to be enough to put Sheamus over Gunther.
Oh yeah. They'll do some. Him and his Peaky Blinders gang.
Yeah, no shit. It's a cool fucking look, but stupid fucking names. Pete,
right.
Butch. Pete's already a tough fucking name.
Right? Like, even if you just drop the Dunn, why did they just call him Pete?
Yeah.
Like Butch, like it, but it almost shit like that's just so blatant is almost like a spit in the hardcore fan's face who's like, you know, we know who Pete Dunne is. Yeah,
I mean, it's like kayfabe works in certain areas now, but a total character change from Pete Dunne to Butch doesn't. Walter to Gunther.
It's hard to pull that off too, and it work.
Yeah,
I mean, some people have had multiple gimmicks. That's a fact, and then they find the one gimmick that just works for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what they thought. I mean, they could have dressed up Pete the same and done the same shit that he's doing now.
Yeah,
and still, or just call him Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
They like to do that one name shit.
Yep. Who knows, man? But next match, Riddle versus Rollins.
Oh man,
the masters of the forever overs.
Well, I mean, Rollins is always going to go out there and try to be the best match on the card.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those guys. He wants to show you how good he really is, and he is really good. And a part of that is annoying, and a part of it is respectable. I'm like, okay, we get it. You're good.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Riddle, ever since Randy got hurt, it's interesting that he's still kind of riding this,
he's riding the RK Bro gravy train.
Yeah,
very well.
Yeah, very well, and it can only last so long till he's going to have to either change something or Randy's got to come back. I don't know how long Randy is going to be out, but he can only do this for so long. I think it's got a shelf life.
It 100% has a shelf life, but
it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd seems to dig it, but which they were digging it before RK Bro. That sort of his sort of cool stoner persona.
I mean, every time I watch Riddle wrestle, I'm just like, how baked out of his mind is he going to look today?
Right.
The only thing that'll top RK Bro is a fucking Riddle and RVD.
Oh my God. That would be a match made in heaven right there. Could you imagine just the promo? Could you imagine the promos those two could have together? It'd be a lot of dudes.
Yeah. There'd be as many dudes as fucking Vince Russo says, bro.
Bro, yeah. Bro, it's a work.
Bro. Chris Jericho, bro. Chris, bro.
Oh man. I think Riddle. I still want to say Riddle, unless they've got some other something else planned. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with the storyline, but I just feel like Riddle's still kind of over right now.
I think this match could go either way. It won't hurt the steam for either one of them.
Yeah.
Because looking at any like major story arcs and angles, neither one of them are doing anything like super big right now.
Right.
But I'm going to go with Rollins because he's taken the L in like every high profile match he's been at.
Well, that's true. The Cody Rhodes stuff
in a pay-per-view this year.
Right.
So that's why I'm going Rollins. It's his turn for a W.
That's probably a good yes right there.
And Riddle's so popular, like a loss to Seth Rollins isn't going to put him down a peg.
Right.
However,
no matter who goes over, these two are going to put on a performance that is definitely going to be worth seeing.
Because Rollins can work with anybody.
Oh yeah, man. Except for Sting.
Yeah. He
I hate to laugh about that, but my God, I was like, dude, what is? Because he got a lot of flack for that shit, but I heard he was really shook up about it and was like following Sting to the ambulance, telling him, he was like, dude, I idolized you. He was like, I did not mean for this to happen. I did not mean,
Yeah.
But shit does happen. But
100%.
I mean, my God! But look at Sting now. He's not staying at home or just doing cons now. You know, his 64-year-old ass is jumping off balconies through tables and shit. So
I know, wild ass motherfucker.
Oh man, yeah, that could go definitely either way. But
yep, I think it's just going to be a good one. Period.
what's the next one? Is that the
next one is the women's triple tag team. So Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka versus Bayley, Io, and Dakota.
Ooh, yeah. What's their name again? Is it Damage Control?
Damage Control, I believe, is the rumored name for them.
I like heel Bayley 10 times more than I liked anything Bayley did before she became a heel.
Yeah.
And this sort of thing is working, I think, right now. And Asuka and what's the other girl's name?
For which one?
In Damage Control.
In Damage Control, it's the former Io Shirai, Io Sky now.
Io Sky is who I'm thinking. Didn't her and Asuka were already in like a tag team match or something here recently?
I for some reason I feel like they were tag partners before Asuka got the call up to the main roster.
Yeah, so I feel like there was something between them, and I can't put my finger on it.
I feel like that's what it is.
But this ought to be interesting. Anytime I see Asuka, I'm ready to watch. I've been a fan of hers for a while now.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And it's I'm still upset about her winning the Royal Rumble and then not. What did she win the female Royal Rumble?
She won one of them, and then
I remember she went on to face Charlotte. It was like because it was her and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, they both won and didn't get a push at all.
Both went to WrestleMania and both lost. I thought that was bullshit. That was some of the worst booking ever. I was like, at least one of them should have won that title that night. I thought that was what a waste of a Royal Rumble win. Either way.
No shit, man.
So this anytime I get to see her work, I'm happy. And Bayley's new crew is a solid fucking crew right now.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do work.
Yeah.
Period.
But there's gonna be some good matches on the horizon. These trio matches, though, man, I'm not the biggest fan of.
No, neither am I. But I guarantee you, just because because they're still freshly back, mm-hmm. I'm giving the edge to Bayley and company.
Right.
I mean, Bianca may still be like a champ, but they need to make her have some stock in this challenge of Bayley kind of coming back and flexing her muscles again.
This is a time to, Bayley's group's got to. They already have. They already got it going for them right now, right?
Yeah.
Like they're the new team, and so they've got to basically snowball down a hill and get bigger and bigger for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be basically the way I look at Horsemen or NWO and people, I think, for the next little bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
To build a bigger, badder reputation for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a while before anybody kind of gives them what they're just desserts for a while. They're going to build around this team for a minute. They're going to be like mowing through the talent, and not from just like pure dominance as wrestling. All these girls are healing it up pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a lot of crazy swerves. I see all kinds of shit in the future for this.
Oh yeah, this has a high likelihood of being a golden angle.
Oh yeah, because this is going to go on for a while with Bianca. I got a feeling.
I agree. I think it's definitely a setup to get Bayley back in the title picture quickly without making her work a ton of fucking singles matches.
Yeah.
And it creates a new women's faction, which the women's division doesn't really have.
Yeah.
And so this is going to make it more, in the classical sense, cliquey, not cliquey as in who's running WWE right now, cliquey.
Right. Well, it ain't been long since the Riot Squad was a thing.
I know.
And that totally worked, and they dropped the ball on it. I'm just hoping this doesn't get the ball dropped on it too quickly.
I feel like with Triple H running the show, and a lot of these are his NXT babies.
Yeah,
we're fine.
I hope so. That's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
But only time will tell. And I'm pretty sure you're right. But things change.
Indeed, they do. So, moving on, we've got the SmackDown Women's Championship match: Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler.
You tapped out.
Are they going to make her tap out for real this time?
Oh, man.
Or would that be kind of burying Liv Morgan? Or do they want to really, just kind of ramp up the fact that she had that kind of snivelly finish, even though it wasn't?
I think this is a prime moment for a heel turn in the future for Liv?
I believe so.
Because, she could have wrote it out if that finish hadn't got fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Now that finish between her and Rousey, just kind of ruined some stuff. The crowd's really paying attention and chanting that shit every time she's out there.
Yep.
And so that would be that. I would say that's just a prime reason to make her. And she's done heel before, but she's always been kind of a bratty heel.
Yeah.
Can she be like the fucking give no shits, take no prisoners, cold as ice heel? That's what I'd like to see.
Mm-hmm. It's a tricky one. Baszler's been a good heel forever.
Right.
And I haven't heard much out of Baszler since the last big angle with her, which honestly was beginning of the year?
Yeah. It's been a while.
So, personally, I want to choose Baszler, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to keep putting Morgan over in ways that piss off the people that were watching close enough to see that botched finish.
Right.
And make it seem more like a fluke than her actually losing.
Yeah, for sure.
Just playing up the angle.
Might as well try to turn chicken shit into chicken salad.
Exactly. So you going Morgan or Baszler, my man?
I'm guessing Morgan for right now. I don't see Baszler becoming champion right yet.
Mm-hmm. I think she deserves to be because she's.
I think she definitely has put in the work, because I just remember her as an MMA fighter, and she's definitely put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't think I don't think she's been given the right storyline. It's not, she's not been booked good enough in this position to come in. Everybody knows she's a tough girl. She's a tough ass woman. But right now, Liv is still, whether she fucked up or not,
Yeah.
Liv is still, they're trying to push her.
Exactly.
So I would say Liv for right now, but Baszler's going to get some good shots in.
Baszler's going to get a lot of good shots in. Baszler's going to get plenty of good shots in.
Oh, yeah.
And then that brings us to the big match. The big dog. Ugh. The tribal chief. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
You know, I heard rumors that Drew's going to come out to his old theme song.
Oh,
yeah. There's a lot of talk online about that. People ready to see that, and I'm
like his theme song from the Indies.
It is. I'm not sure if it's one from the Indies or if it was his old WWE theme song. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember.
Because I think it'd be pretty cool if they sent him out to his old Indies theme song, since he'll be wrestling back home again, like the shit that he used in like ICW and everything.
Yeah, that would be great. But who knows? That might be just speculation.
Mm-hmm.
But this match, part of me wants to think that they might just put it on Drew for a cup of coffee. You know, maybe just for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but the fact that it's a pay-per-view, I mean,
could he be the one to ruin the reign? I don't know if that's something that's ready to be done yet.
Yeah.
So, whether or not me and you, we both have talked about what irks us about Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
But you still can't. There's so many things I can't take away from Roman. Roman is he's athletic as hell. Mm-hmm. He has a good look.
Yeah.
This heel persona fucking works for him.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on it for so long. He has all the right tools.
He just doesn't have a deep enough toolbox, sadly.
I hate his promos. I hate to hear him talk. I think he has the worst, just like, no emotion in his voice, no matter what.
I've said it a million times. He's wooden as shit.
God,
he's the most stiff and wooden promo.
He's got everything else. He's got charisma out the asshole when he wrestles. He's got all the right like moveset.
I think his moveset's incredibly limited.
I don't. I think it's very normal. It's very
there's that. It is definitely normal, borderline basic. But
see, I see that every time I watch a Young Bucks match. No matter how many I've seen it 1,000 fucking times.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes less is more. It to me, what Roman is good at is like certain like little things, like take when Brock Lesnar took the fucking tractor and lifted the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roman's bump out of the ring was brilliant. I was like very like that sold that shit so well. Is his like stand up like I'm wobbling, and then he rolls backwards and then rolls and bumps out of the ring. Fucking beautiful, man. And he did it so fluently. So he has all the right tools, and apparently a lot of people respect him.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, nicest person in the world, probably. But from a wrestling standpoint, I think he's fucking as stale as week old bread.
I actually felt probably that way about him back when he was still wearing the
shield armor.
Shit, yeah. And I was just like, dude, stop this shit. Like, to me, that was stale Roman. Like, the whole head of the table shit just pisses people off, and I'm like, that's perfect. He's getting heat. I like seeing a wrestler get real heat. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who watch wrestling but aren't like, you know what I mean? It's like they know it's a work, but they don't know how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they'll talk to me. They'll be like, "Oh God, that Roman Reigns. I wish."
I know it fucking works on me because it annoys the fuck out of me. So I know the psychology behind the work is working.
So it's definitely working. When I
can see the wizard behind the curtains.
When normal fans come and want to talk to me because they know I'm a wrestler and they'll just want to talk to me about it, and You know, part of me is just like when they're explaining why they don't like Roman, I'm like, that's why he does it. You know, I can't really explain it to them. You know, I'm just like, yeah, well, it's just sort of how it works.
Yep.
But you know, I still want to. As someone who the spear has always been my finishing move, it is an overdone fucking move. It's been done to death. That was one thing I was like, but at least his spears look good. But he's also a spear is only as good as the guy you're giving it to as well. You know what I mean? And he's got to know how to put that move over. And so that's real tricky. But he's had some really good spears. But I like seeing some of his other moves, and he has other moves, but it just doesn't seem like you see it as much. And that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, depending on what you're looking for. But I think he's good at other little intricacies like facials and, you know, taking certain bumps and whatnot. And actually, he's not bad at telling a story through wrestling. He's actually pretty good at that. But I can't stand to hear him on the stick. It drives me bonkers. I'm just like, please shut up. Let someone else talk, please.
Yeah.
You know, even though this last Brock Lesnar match was a pretty fun little match, I was also in the mindset of, God damn, I've seen this already. Why?
Oh, that's the worst part. Probably the biggest problem with the Reigns era is all of his title defenses, damn near it, have been the same fucking match.
Exactly. So but that's not his fault. He don't book his own matches.
No.
You know? So that's the company's fault. But hopefully we'll be seeing a change in that. But do you think Drew McIntyre is going to take this title at the pay-per-view?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't think they're going to end that streak until next year, WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be a bigger event before they let him lose.
Mm-hmm.
What they've built up so much.
Yeah.
You know, because this has been the only thing since what? The Undertaker's actual WrestleMania streak where they can actually gimmick it, you know, and get some steam out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at least let's do it. At least let's do it on the grandest stage of them all. If you're going to lose, you know, if we're ready to put it on the next person to take it to the next level. I just don't, as good looking as a guy as Drew is, as good as a worker as he is, and as hard as he's worked to get back to this position, I just don't think they're ready to put it on him and let him run it yet.
No, he's not going to get it yet. I could see him having it sometime next year after tops.
Yeah.
But this year, it's not going to happen. I think they're going to use this pay-per-view, which is pretty much the Drew pay-per-view, where you think you'd win it, as a way to build more heat for Roman. So when he does drop it, it's going to be that much more impactful. I could almost see it as them building an angle to where he's going to drop it to Drew later on.
Yeah.
Using this match as a springboard. He's going to fucking, show Drew up in his hometown.
Right.
Hometown, air quotes. And do it up like that. That's kind of how I see it being utilized.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see Reigns coming out on top on this right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd say
it may not be. I don't think it'll be cut and dry. I'm sure it'll be a schmoz of some sort.
Yeah, I could see Jimmy and Jay doing some bullshit. Who knows though? We'll see come the weekend.
Right.
But from there, we can segue over into AEW, who, I mean, all the news over the past week is, Trouble in Paradise, AEW,
Good
blah,
Lord,
blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, this happens at every company in the world.
Oh, they're making it out like this is high school right now, bro.
No shit. I'm just like, yeah, sure, some people fucking don't like each other. That doesn't mean the whole goddamn locker room doesn't like each other. You've got enough high-profile people that someone's causing a stink to where they have to have a big staff meeting before Dynamite last week. But, I mean, it is what it is. That sort of shit's going to happen. It just means, you know, moving forwards, they're going to tighten some shit up.
Well, I mean, some of the things is like Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara apparently getting a little slap fight back in the back.
Yeah. I mean, but I've read two different versions of that story, one from the Kingston angle, one from the Sammy angle. And Sammy talking about, hey, I told him ahead of time stuff I didn't want him to use in the promo, but he didn't tell me anything. So I just went off the cuff, and he got pissy. If you don't tell me things, and I don't know what not to say.
As somebody who is a I've been a pro wrestler for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. That shit is usually okay.
Yeah.
You've got some sensitive issues if you're a pro wrestler and somebody, and now I can understand. Now, I think Sammy may have said something about his wife. I haven't heard the promo. I know it was something about Eddie's body.
Yeah.
And I've heard something about Eddie's wife. Now,
I hadn't heard anything about the wife, just straight up the body shaming thing.
Right, yeah, I heard the body shaming shit. Somebody told me that he may have said something about his wife, and I was like, no, that might be a different story. I said, yeah. But even though in pro wrestling, you kind of want to use real life shit sometimes to sort of sell it, you know. I mean, that's what, because people know it's just like the last call for Scott Hall. Everybody knew how horrible is it that Scott's going through addiction problems and whatnot, and they write it into a damn storyline. And but at the same time, it made people invested because they knew it was something that was real.
Yeah. But there's no telling. It's just like every time I hear some sort of drama from AEW, I'm just like, I mean, you never know with these sorts of things. You hear so many conflicting angles. I mean, you've got all the different reporters reporting every single fucking tiny rumor they hear from backstage because they've got people that they go running to. I mean, as good as Meltzer is about some things, there's people that just fucking tattle to him all the time about random bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's never the full story, and he reports it like it's the God's honest truth.
Yeah, not realizing that the people who were stooging out to him are trying to either fuck over somebody or, you know what I mean? This is pro wrestling. Pro wrestlers are some of the worst when it comes to gossip.
Yeah, it's just like the big stink from a few days ago of FTR being taken out of the AEW game. I read FTR's statement today, and they're like, yeah, they told us that in like May or June. We already knew. Why it came out today or the other day, we don't fucking know. It doesn't matter to us. They told us why. It was a logical reason. Okay, we're fine with it. It sucks. But, whatever. It's nothing big. Everyone wants to read between the lines. Everyone wants to go run tell Meltzer every little fucking thing. Like, we're good. FDR does not care.
I mean, maybe it was a space issue. I don't really know what the issue was. But, man, it does suck not having FTR in the game.
I guarantee you there'll be DLC.
Dude, I don't... Did you see the most recent footage of it?
I have not.
Dude, it definitely feels like an updated version of the old THQ stuff.
Oh, like the old SmackDown games?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not just SmackDown. The old, think like No Mercy. And,
yeah. The Golden Age.
Yeah. It very much has that feel, but of course...
Arcadey without being too loose.
Very arcadey, but a lot smoother than those, but it definitely has that feel to it. I can tell in a lot of things about watching the video. And it was like somebody was playing, it was Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega, and it looked pretty fucking fun.
Nice. I'm excited. I already have it pre-ordered, so... Like, my brother sent me the pre-order link, and I was like, Done.
Wait, it comes out on like what, New Year's Eve?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what the pre-order release date is. Whether that gets pushed out or brought back,
right,
is up for debate. But at least we've got until end of the year before we know for sure. But other big things. I mean, one, I feel like I can't remember if we said it during the cold open or whatever, you know, or may have been off the air. The CM Punk and Moxley squash from last week. I mean, it's just an angle set up, everybody. Don't get your panties in a wad. That's all I'm going to say about it, because everyone on the fucking internet's been talking about it for fucking, it feels like 6 months, even though it's only been a week.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I mean, sure, he's got heat with Hangman. Ooh. I don't care. It's the business. People gonna get heat. So be it. And they're going to either fix it.
I love to hear it though, man. When you hear little shoots like that on there, fuck, man. It's. I was just kind of like, oh yeah. Isn't it odd that Hangman wasn't booked when they were in West Virginia?
Well, it is odd that they're in West Virginia and he's not booked, being him from Virginia.
Right.
So it would make sense for him to be there near his, near-ish to his stomping grounds.
Right.
But, I mean, hey, it is what it is. If anything, honestly, it just, I saw that after all the stuff came out. If I had watched that promo before I'd read everything, I would have thought nothing of it. It would have just seemed like a nice, way to dog on somebody.
Well, and Punk's good at that.
Yeah. Now, when you go back and watch it after the fact, you can kind of pick up on some of the more subtle clues that make it seem more shoot-like.
That what he said about Eddie Kingston killed me, man.
Oh, yeah.
The third best Eddie ever worked with.
Mm-hmm.
Second best Kingston.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But people love hearing that kind of shit.
I know.
Especially now in wrestling, where like kayfabe is pretty much not existent, and to an extent, you know,
it exists in a different fashion than it used to.
It's a much better form, but when you pepper in those little shoots, here and there, man, it's going to make especially the people on the internet, it's going to go crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a great fucking shoot, but, like I said, whatever. Things are going to get sorted out one way or the other. The wildest thing I heard or saw today was reading a snippet from something Steven Regal said. He's like, to paraphrase, he was like, if AEW wants to fire me for saying nice things about WWE, they can get stuffed.
Yeah. He don't care.
And I was just like, yeah, I mean, they wouldn't. It's just like, again, he said it, NXT UK was a pet project of his. He thought it was good stuff. He's sad to see it go. He's allowed to be. It's part of his legacy. They hired him knowing that. I'm sure it's not even a fucking problem. Truly. Because other people say nice things about WWE in their time there, in their interviews and things. No one, like on the main show, with the exception of one or two people, like take any real fucking shots at it. So, I mean, I think that's yet another one of those things where people online are blowing it way out of proportion from what it actually is.
Oh,
and then Regal decided to shoot on him a little bit.
Well, it's like the whole Thunder Rosa thing with Jamie Hayter. Like, I'm hearing these things about Thunder Rosa hid in a bathroom, afraid of what Jamie Hayter would do when she got backstage after accidentally breaking Jamie's nose. Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, she train in MMA? Is she not a fighter? Like, why would she be hiding? Either Jamie Hayter is the baddest bitch one of the baddest bitches on the planet, or this is all bullshit.
I'm going with part 2. I know, well, part 1's already a fact for multiple reasons, but part 2 is also very accurate.
I just don't see that.
Uh-huh.
I
don't either. It's the age of the internet. Take everything with a grain of salt. Even what we say, take it with a fucking grain of salt.
And for what I also feel like I remember reading was that she is having back problems.
Yeah.
So, and it's like she said. From what I read, she said got good days or bad days. She's like, some days I can't even walk.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised, man. But I'm glad this is the modern era where they can actually stop and get help instead of having to self-medicate like all the old.
Oh, for sure. That's, we know how many wrestlers have lost their lives over the past 30 years.
Oh, yeah. But now that we've addressed the
rumors,
the recent rumor mill, or at least some of the juicier ones, let's dive into All Out predictions, because All Out's this weekend. All Out is, to me, All Out's AEW's flagship show.
Right.
Double or Nothing is a bullshit show, in my opinion.
Really? Well, I always just looked at it like those are the two top ones.
I mean, they are, but for me, because I know what All Out grew from, it grew from All In, which was fucking amazing.
Right.
And then it falls at the same time every year and has that tie-in.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this, to me, is the flagship show. Or, like, the number one. Even though other people consider Double or Nothing like AEW's equivalent of WrestleMania. I do not. I do not. I do not like it in the sense that, one, I really hated Cody's obsession with gambling for naming so many of these shows.
Right.
All In worked. All Out works. I'm tired of the other parts. I mean, divorce it from the gambling portion. Sure, Double or Nothing. That's a pretty cool show title, but I don't like all the fucking poker chip motifs and all that. I don't like the Casino Battle Royal being and shit like that being the name of every opening Battle Royal or ladder match.
Right.
It's fucking stupid. But that's a gripe of my own. I say this only because the start of All Out, of course, is the Casino ladder match. I don't even know who's fucking in it.
Wow.
Because when I looked up right now, I saw nothing.
Oh, shit.
I just saw Casino ladder match. Most likely, I would say we will know who is in that ladder match this week. Yeah, looking down a little further, I really don't see anything. Yeah, they're thinking there's going to be a couple other matches, some possibilities, because they're saying it's going to have an 11-match card. And there's, right now we're going to be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the other two matches would be the title match, Moxley versus TBA, and then Darby, Sting, and Miro versus Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews is what we predicted.
Man, I hope that happens. I do hope that happens.
Me too. I'm going to write that in right here because, I mean, the Casino Battle Royal, or ladder match, whatever the fuck we want to call it.
Well, if we don't know who's in it, how do we know who to say who we think's going to win it?
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe they'll kind of release that this weekend or this.
I think they will. So the matches right now, we can just guess what's going to happen with the Moxley one because we don't know who his opponent's going to be. I guarantee you we know who it is. There's that. There's a women's title 4-way match. Toni Storm versus Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida. So 2 former champs and then 2 up-and-comers.
Right.
Then you got the TBS title match, Jade versus Athena. I really want to see Jade's streak ended, even though deep down inside, and I'll say it again when we get to it, I don't think she's up to the number where they're going to cut it yet. The tag championship match, Swerve and Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. The trios final, we don't know who that is yet, but we've got some guesses. Then you've got Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. Jericho doing the Lionheart persona again.
Oh, he's trying to milk that for everything it's worth here recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it just got an action figure that just recently came out, so I can kind of see why. Yeah, I have it.
I am a fan. It is just odd to see him do that again at this age. You know what I mean?
But what's funny is it looked really good still.
Yeah. I was not expecting it to at all. And I was
and coming out the fucking zombie.
Just sort of works.
I was just like, the theme music he came out to, I was so happy to not hear fucking Judas.
Right. What song was it? It was
a White Zombie song.
It was White Zombie, yeah. I'm trying to think of which one it was. I remember when I heard it, I was like, "Oh shit!"
It was a less known White Zombie song.
I knew it immediately when I heard it. I was
heard
big.
it. Like, hell
That's
yeah,
my first concert, dude. Was White Zombie.
I would have loved to have seen White Zombie, but now I'll never see White Zombie. I'll only see Rob Zombie doing White Zombie covers.
Right.
And it's just not the same.
Or Grand Funk Railroad covers.
That too. But after that, we've got the reformed Pinnacle versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns.
This will be match of the night. I'm already predicting.
Chris Sabin alone guarantees that. FTR and everyone else involved just further seals the deal.
Oh my God, Alex Shelley and fucking Chris Sabin. Fuck, yeah. Man. They recently just worked that Ric Flair's match too. Fucking beautiful. I was like, God, I love these guys, and they to me are. Where would the Young Bucks be if it wasn't for a group like them, a tag team like them? You know, I mean, when the Motor City Machine Guns was getting traction, the Young Bucks were just trying to find themselves.
Yep.
And, you know, they took that sort of high spot wrestling to a whole nother level. And it wouldn't even be there, I don't think, American-wise, if it wasn't for somebody like the Motor City Machine Guns.
Agreed. Beyond that, we've got Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage for their big blow-off from their feud.
Oh, Christian will come out somehow on top on this one.
I believe so. Then you've got Ricky Starks versus Will Hobbs.
Ooh. I can't wait to kind of see this match. I kind of like this grudge match feel between them.
I do too. And then...
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know how this one...
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to play out either.
I don't know how it's going to play out yet, because I know it's going to keep going. This isn't a blow-off by no means. So I'm wondering how they're going to keep this going up to the next match, because I don't feel like it's had enough time to get where it needs to be.
Well, my thoughts will bring them up in a minute. And then finally, the opener, or I'm going to call it the opener. That's just where I wrote it down. It probably won't be an opener. Darby, Sting, and Miro versus House of Black.
I hope, I definitely want to see this.
This one comes great because Miro knocked House of Black, basically caused House of Black to get knocked out of the Trios tournament. I thought they were shoe-ins for the finals.
Right.
I did. 100% thought they were shoe-ins. So that leaves it, I can guarantee you probably, Omega and the Young Bucks are slotted to go up against United Empire next, aren't they?
I think so.
Okay. So then you've got Orange Cassidy, Trent, and Chuck Taylor, the Best Friends versus the Dark Order.
Dark Order, yeah. Okay.
We'll come to that in a minute. I just wanted to refresh myself there. Okay, so let's start it off with the match that surprised me and one that I, going through the list here and seeing it. Darby, Sting, and Miro versus House of Black.
I'm digging this Miro better than I have when he first got there.
I love Redeemer Miro. I've heard he's a little grumpy with his booking, but at the same time, I'm just like, dude, this is the best character you've had since the comedy of Rusev Day.
Oh, yeah. God. Love Rusev Day.
But I fucking love the Redeemer because all of his promos are fucking phenomenal.
Oh, the shit where Julia Hart comes in and she puts her hand on him and tells him to give in to the darkness and all that shit.
Yeah.
He was like, only one woman can touch the Redeemer, and she's not you.
I know.
Fucking great, man. But I just like seeing Miro in a stronger position. Like, he's a fucking beast. How can you not make this guy like just one of your top guys?
I know. I'm still amazed.
Everything.
I'm still amazed he didn't get that All Atlantic Championship, but at the same time, I think Pac deserved it just a smidge more. But I see Miro getting a belt again here pretty soon. I really do.
He's right on the right track, but yeah, he definitely needs to be back in the title picture of some sort.
I agree, because he's looking great since he came back from injury.
He looks like a fucking champion. I'm sorry, when he had the TNT belt, man, he looked like a fucking champion.
I know.
I honestly thought he was going to hold it longer than he did.
Yeah, I did too. But I think the whole reason he dropped it was injury.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, House of Black has been fucking strong straight up for a while. And I feel like they're going to go over this time since they got the dirty loss during the Trios tournament.
Right.
And it's like part of me thinks, hey, this would be a good way for Miro to switch sides and kind of align with House of Black and turn on Darby Allin and Sting and just do a full-blown, because he's kind of playing that weird anti-hero angle right now. He's not a face. He's not really a heel.
Right.
And this will cement him one way or the other.
My thoughts on this is I like the idea that he says, I accept your gift and I'm going to use it to destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, that makes sense. And I love that he keeps calling them pagans.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking love it. Yeah. I still say, of course, Sting and Darby and him will definitely be on top in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Because hardly ever does Sting and Darby lose when it comes to these situations. These high-profile matches, they rarely have lost that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And House of Black is like the kings of putting on these good matches and somehow ended up losing, but everybody still fears them.
I know. I don't know. It's like, I don't know how they keep doing it, but I think this is the stage for, Sting and company to finally take that L.
Right.
And make House of Black look strong via a win, as opposed to just how strong they are psychologically.
Right. And they're definitely good at the whole psychological game. I've heard an interview with Alistair, and he was like, he's like, everybody, talks about my shit being supernatural. He said it's more of a mind fuck, really, than because he was like, shit that has to do with the mind is real, and it intrigues him. He was like, the supernatural, I don't know. That's, you still have questions, but that's the whole idea. Is it's just basically fucking with people's minds. And he's pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah, no doubt.
The psychological warfare, But, man, I want to see House of Black come out with a W because I'm just a mark for the House of Black. I like everybody here. I think it's the best thing to happen to Julia Hart, to be quite honest.
Oh, yeah. She's been gold since she joined House of Black.
And, because she was stuck with a dead gimmick that wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And now she's shooting promos with Miro. She's coming out with Buddy Matthews. She's doing her own stuff too, and she's playing the gimmick to a T.
Yeah.
And doing it good. She don't look like she's just going through the motions trying to be a goth kid or some shit.
Yeah, she has a good like manager vibe.
Right.
I won't say a valet because she's not necessarily a valet. But right. If we're going to use the old terminologies, she does land more towards a valet than a manager. But I think she almost falls somewhere in between. Let's go with what their thing is. She's a sycophant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So let's run with what their gimmick's all about. She's a sycophant for the House of Black. She has no controlling interest, but she's controlled by and part of.
All right.
And die hard about it.
She got that Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. I myself, like I said before, I'm going House of Black, even though you're probably correct. Darby and Sting rarely lose a high profile.
They rarely lose high profile matches.
But I think part of what's going to help House of Black go over is Miro's religious zealot angle.
Yeah.
That's going to be a detriment.
I would rather see him and Alistair in a one-on-one, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
Or him and let him build up to Brody. You know, yeah. Buddy's not a pushover by no means. Buddy is fucking phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, he's the third man in this group.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying a lot, as badass as Buddy Matthews is. That he's, got to be the first guy to go through in this. And Brody is just, come on. He's been crushing Darby for how long? He lost that casket match, but it was told in a way, that made sense to why somebody like Darby would win in this situation.
Exactly.
And it worked. So, Brody didn't lose any badass points. And so he's still considered a fucking beast. And this Miro and Brody, I think, would be very interesting to see. But when he gets to Alistair, both of those guys, the way they both like to do the kicks, the high kicks and different things, I think their styles will mesh a lot better. Brody's more for the brutality shit, but as far as everything else, Miro and Alistair, I don't know that they ever worked in WWE against each other. I'll have to look into that. But I do think their styles will mesh very well together.
I totally agree. I think you hit the nail on the head. There's nothing I can really add to that.
Sorry.
Really. There's nothing I can add to that. That was well played. Well played. So, because, we could talk about the implications of this match all fucking night. Let's go ahead and move on to a boy, Ricky Starks.
Oh, man.
Against Will Hobbs.
I'm a Hobbs guy, man. That Spinebuster is sick.
He's the only person that's been laying spine on the pine like Arn Anderson style.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. He got that Arn Anderson mixed with a little bit of Ron Simmons intensity in there somewhere.
Oh, man. Shit. His Spinebuster is Ron and Arn's baby.
Yeah.
And that just puts a whole new level of fucking mean Ron to Simmons.
It. I'm sorry, what did you say?
It just puts a whole new level of mean to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
I like Hobbs. I don't see this one. I don't see this one being a blow off either.
Mm-mm.
Like, this is definitely going to keep going for a minute. So I don't know how exactly it'll end. Maybe we'll get a DQ or no contest. Something's going to continue this to keep going. I'm not sure what it'll be, what the ending will be, but Starks is still going to be pissed off at the end and still won't. I'm not done trying to get a hold of you, Hobbs, for what you've done to me. I feel like, if that makes sense.
I do. I think their heat's going to build up a lot more to the point where I think they're going to have a rivalry that's going to come down belt for belt.
You're right.
One of them's going to end up with a belt, and that's going to be the impetus for the other one to get even more, even more of a short-changed feeling of inadequacy that they blame on the other.
Right. Here's just how I see it. Starks is being groomed to be like the next kind of star.
Yeah.
I think he's well into being groomed to being that next star. Hobbs is just a monster.
Yeah.
And
he's a different type of star.
He's a different type of star, but he's not going to be like, it's like
he's not going to be the reason you tune in.
Right. Hobbs is going to be that guy when you turn on, when you see him do a move, you're just like, holy fucking shit, that was fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. But Starks is the guy you're going to be listening to, and then the shit he does within his match, like, the dude's got the best facials.
Oh God, he's expressive ass motherfucker.
Seen in a while. His facials during a match fucking kill me. They're so good.
I don't think anyone, MJF included, looks as like smarmy and like devious as Ricky Starks does when he makes some of his faces.
When I first saw Ricky at NWA, I honestly didn't know what to think about him at first.
I didn't either.
I was kind of like standoffish about the character. I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, it had a weird vibe to it, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know where he was coming from in NWA, but when he got to AEW, something clicked.
Yeah,
and now shit is working for him. And him and Hobbs was a good thing, I think.
Yep.
Like that's a good way to kind of start him off here on a real, like his new journey of being the newer version of Ricky Starks. Mm-hmm. And being the guy that was with him all the time, was his right hand man all the time. And
I think this is going to be Starks over Hobbs. Myself, I think Starks is going to have to play dirty to do it.
That's a good. That's a good guess there.
It's not going to It's not going to be dirty to the point where people start getting face feelings for Hobbs, because we already knew Hobbs fucking dogged on Starks after that match. Right. Hobbs is firmly set in the heel window.
Right.
I think we're going for who's the heeliest of the heel right now.
Well, Hobbs is definitely not he's not throwing any babyface vibes whatsoever.
No,
none.
And Starks is only getting residual babyface vibes because he was attacked.
Well, and also, he was already kind of on his way to being one of those, I don't want to say cool heel, but at least like
he was going to body back and toe the line.
You're right. He could come out and cut a promo, and even though he could be trying to get some heat as a heel, people are going to, like, they just laugh at it, in a sense. Not that he's a joke, it's just like, it's his mannerisms and shit. He could be bitching about something, and he comes off. He puts it out in a way like where I'm at home going, well,
yeah,
could have happened to a better person.
Exactly.
But in all honesty, I love Ricky. You know what I mean? But as a character, yeah, that this is a whole nother thing, because if it had been just the normal Ricky Starks I've seen over the last 2 years, I would be like, oh man, fuck that guy. But I like seeing that Ricky can be a redeemable character and not just a swarmy heel.
Yeah,
he actually can be one of those. Like, I think this is probably, some people will tell me I'm crazy, but I think he has those Rock qualities.
I can see it. He's a lot of people have made that comparison. They call him like a Wish version of The Rock.
Right.
I give him more of a Rock light vibe right now because he's still new to the game.
It's something to do with his charisma.
Yeah.
It's not that he's caught. I don't feel like he's caught. He doesn't cut a promo like The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, he cuts a promo like Ricky Starks, but like The Rock, his style is very his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were to say, hey, compare Ricky's promo to somebody else, I couldn't do it. He just has a different timing. He has his own sort of thing, but he has something about him and The Rock have this certain charisma that not a lot of other people have. And I can't put my finger on it, but it's just there. It's something to do with everything from the way he sells in his face to actually having good in-ring work matches to, you know what I mean? Like, people can say what they want about The Rock. Rock had some of the best fucking matches and was one of the most in shape, super athletic people, yet his promos overshadowed anything he ever done in the ring.
It's true. He was a god of the promo.
God of the promo. And Ricky's a good promo. Mm-hmm. Ricky's a great promo, actually. Not just good. I mean, he's that character is definitely becoming its own beast right now. Like, exactly. People are really, really feeling Ricky, and it's just kind of like the same thing with The Rock. You know, The Rock was, you know, he comes back a straight up heel, right? But then all of a sudden that heel starts, you know, even though he's doing heel shit, people are enjoying it. And I think people were doing that with Ricky there for just a second. Maybe not to the same extent, but he was sort of getting over that way. And that's why they switched him kind of like right now, pushing him in that baby face.
And they took the training wheels off. That's why he's out of Team Taz. Team Taz is the training wheels team.
Well, I'm glad they disbanded. There was no need for Team Taz anymore. No. It run its course. You know, someone definitely realized there's too many factions in AEW. Mm-hmm. So what was the point? You know, Taz is limited in himself. You know, Taz is one of those guys you can't even touch, even if he's in a storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And which sucks in the world of professional wrestling, because that's the guy who no one can ever get revenge on. He can get heat all day, but there's never a payoff to the heat. And so that sort of sucks. So, you know, at least even when, like, you know, people could get their hands on Jimmy Hart or Bobby the Brain Heenan, sooner or later they got their hands on those guys. Mm-hmm. And there was big pops for him. You know, Taz being the leader of Team Taz, there's no payoff to get, you know, to shut Taz's mouth, because it's not going to happen. So, so you can't get heat from there. It was basically just to keep those young guys on television as much as possible, because, you know, the roster is what it is. So, but what better way than to put two young, hungry fucking workers like Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs in a match against each other, and make this whole storyline out of it.
Oh yeah. So who you taking?
Ricky's the one with the momentum. I don't see Ricky getting beat. You know what I'm saying? But I think something's going to happen to keep this story continuing. I don't know. I don't know what the finish will be, but it's not over after this.
All right. We went deep on that one. We love those two.
We love it, man.
All right. So
I want to give Hobbs as much credit as I can, because I love watching the guy work, man.
I've been a fan of Hobbs since day one. I don't know what it was about him. I saw something and I was just like, he's got it. I don't know what it is, but he's got it.
He's got it, and and the heel turn was the best thing for him.
Agreed. So next, Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. The follow-up to their weeks-long thing where did Luchasaurus turn heel, or was he playing Christian Cage for a fool? And then turns out he was playing it for a fool. I'm just like, damn.
I do like the dark outfit, though.
I do too. It's nice.
Or the Luchasaurus, excuse me. I do like the updated, darker look. It does look cooler, for sure. I don't know how this is going to play out, because Christian's one of those. He's always getting his ass beat in these types of matches. So Jungle Boy is going to look like $1 million for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. And somehow Christian's going to sneak out this win.
I think he's going to slip it up. He's going to out finesse him. It's going to come down to they're not going to play it up like the face is getting taken out by the heel purely because he's the bad guy and he's overwhelming him.
Yeah.
He's going to out wrestle him. It's going to come down to experience over animosity. I can see Cage capitalizing on one mistake the Jungle Boy makes.
Yeah.
Rolling him up, and maybe just for the sake of old school fun, fistful of fucking tights or feet on the rope.
Yeah. It'll be something like that. He's going to pull it out by the edge of his teeth, or skin of his teeth, so to speak. I feel like, and he's still going to come out with a W because an angry Jungle Boy chasing him is money right now.
I know. It's good. They're not going to stop that gravy train yet. I have a feeling they're going to have a real deal blow off.
Right.
I could see them doing something where Christian gets a tag partner, and they do it as a tag match too.
Right.
Who it would be? No idea.
Good question.
No idea. That's something for another time though, because that's a deep fucking rabbit hole. We don't got time for that. All right, next match of the night. We already called it earlier. Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, this is it. My stamp of approval will be on this match as match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only because we already put over the Motor City Machine Guns, FTR,
just dripping in belts.
It's just like Gold City right here. Like what the fuck is going on? I see a lot of crazy fucking spots.
I see so many false finishes. It's going to get to the point where we're loving the match, and then in the back of our head, we're like, oh my God, someone win. I'm tired of the anxiety.
We're going to be counting 1, 2 at least 10 or 12 times in this match.
Oh, I mean, that's a conservative estimate.
Oh.
So much.
But yeah, and fucking Wardlow, man. They just shoved fucking rockets up his ass, man. He's not going anywhere. He's not going down anytime soon.
No,
I don't
not
think.
at all.
What do you do after a man beats up like 25 guys?
That they wrote themselves into a corner with that one, but hopefully before too long we'll fucking truly forget about how that happened.
Oh, people will forget it because how can you humanize somebody after doing that? You just can't.
You just got to let time heal that wound. Sadly,
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, it's like one. I feel like the best way for this match to work is a dirty win from the gang, but that's like that's dipping into the same well too many times. I'm giving it to Wardlow and FTR for sure.
Oh, for sure. But I'm giving because Motor City Machine Guns is in it. They're taking the show because this is a big stage for them. To be quite honest, the biggest stage I think they've been on besides pay-per-view.
Yeah, I believe so. It's going to be a hell of a fucking match, and goddamn, if anyone deserves a hell of a match, it's fucking at a big show. It's fucking Chris Sabin.
Oh yeah,
that man is a fucking workhorse.
It has been for 20-some years now.
Mm-hmm. Love him. Everything he does. I can't get enough of Chris Sabin. He is that good. Okay, so after that, you've got another battle between the pro wrestler versus the sports entertainer with the Dragon, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho as the Lionheart.
The Lionheart.
Oh boy.
This one is hard to say because I feel like Garcia. Somehow Garcia's got to fit into all this.
Mm.
And whatever he does is going to sway what happens in this match.
My thoughts are this. One, everyone wants Daniel Garcia with Danielson and the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's not going to happen.
I mean, the whole promo of you're a wrestler. They're chanting. The whole thing's been fun anyway. Pro wrestlers versus sports entertainers.
Yeah.
Which is all just a big slap in the face to WWE is all that really is.
Yeah.
And then making a fucking storyline out of it. But Garcia and fucking Danielson had such a good fucking match.
It was so good.
But something will happen here. Something will happen. I don't know if he'll interfere. I don't know. Garcia's going to be a part of this somehow. And he has to be.
I think that all of Garcia's wishy-washiness over the past week or so is just a red herring. It's there to make Danielson think he's coming around.
Right. Because I would want to keep that Dragon. Is it the Dragon Killer? Is that what
Dragon Slayer? Yeah, Dragon Killer, Dragon Slayer, something like that. I forget.
I would want to keep that gimmick for a minute.
And
personally, I'd be like, can we just work this out just a little longer?
And that's why I'm thinking Jericho is going to go over. And I think he's going to do it via Daniel Garcia.
Could be.
They're gonna have one of those in-ring moments, where the ref's like, "What the fuck are you doing in the ring? Get out, get out, get out!" And
it's called a swerve.
Yeah, exactly. It's a swerve we're gonna see coming, but at the same time, I think a lot of people
that would be a good swerve. Like the Danielson match really showed what Garcia is capable of. Like everybody talked Garcia up a big game, but I swear every match I've seen him in AEW, there was a major botch or there was something that just killed his momentum for me in a match. And I much like that shit with Danielson. I was just fluent and it looked great and really showed what kind of worker Daniel Garcia really is.
Yeah.
And so I would be happy to see him stay heel just so he could work Brian again.
Agreed. I think that's going to be what happens, just because, as well as the fact that you don't need to add another person to the Blackpool Combat Club right now.
No, not right now. They don't.
No, it's too soon. They've got enough. Yeah. If you get too many, you're going to get unwieldy.
I'm in Wheeler Yuta right now. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Wheeler Yuta's been firing on all cylinders in my opinion. I love him to death. He's been probably the best diamond in the rough find in the past year.
Oh, for sure, man.
But yeah, I'm going Jericho. I think you said you were going Jericho.
Definitely go Jericho. I think it's going to be some type of swerve into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get a dirty swerve. But and that's not just a reference to a Swerve Strickland heel finish to a match.
That we know is going to happen at some point.
Assuredly so. Next, the big prediction here is the Trios final. The Trios semifinals are going to happen this week between Dynamite and Rampage. I'm torn. It's like part of me, booking, you expect the Elite to go all the way to the finals. You do.
Right.
You do. But I don't think it's going to happen.
And why is that?
I think they're going to play the internet game and they're going to let Aussie Open go over.
Really?
So that way we get an Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay rematch in the finals. Best Friends needs something. It's like, do I want to put trio titles on a comedy team? Not really.
Well, if I was to put any title on a comedy team, it would definitely be the Trios title.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just everyone talked about how good Ospreay and Orange Cassidy's match was.
Right. But I mean, my God, man. Him and Kenny Omega, I know they've worked too, but nobody's
but it won't be a
finals
finals match.
At this level. It won't be a finals. No.
Yeah, no, it's the next match.
I know it's coming up.
Yeah. So that's the only part where it kind of kills the idea. And I really think if they don't put those belts on Orange Cassidy, Trent, Chuck, I think this would be the good olive branch to like New Japan for kind of booking heavy on the AEW side.
Right.
For Forbidden Door, and also for having their titles on FTR, and FTR hasn't defended them in Japan or anything yet.
Right. Yeah.
This is kind of an olive branch. Like, okay, we have your titles, now you have ours.
Right. I don't know. I just don't see the point in bringing Kenny back unless there's some big payoff. Unless he's, there, because it seems like they're still working that he's not 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he's going to lose, now would be the time to 100% Ospreay.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other reason, because then they could build a feud between Ospreay and Omega by Ospreay being gloating that he beat Kenny, and Kenny coming back with, man, I'm not even 100%. I came back early to do this, and you had to struggle to beat me. And
so
then,
how are you going to take me at 100%?
Yeah, exactly. And that sets us up for a big cross-promotional match at a bigger pay-per-view, another pay-per-view down the line.
I mean,
think of those
I don't
two
want
going.
to see. I think so much of Ospreay and his, what's the, I keep forgetting the name of their
Aussie Open.
Yeah, the Aussie Open.
Yeah, that's the tag team with him in United Empire.
Yeah, they're fucking great. God almighty. The intensity that those guys put in is on another level. The three of them, not just Ospreay, all three of them have a certain type of intensity that I've rarely seen in AEW or anywhere. They really go all out with their intensity. If that were to happen, of course, I'm just me. I'm not the biggest fan of comedy in wrestling. I'm just no. But it's so weird that I'm a fan of comedy, but I don't. There's that fine line between shit that's...
Don't get your peanut butter in my jelly. Don't get your jelly in my peanut butter.
But yeah.
It's all mixed up.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it works, but it works for certain reasons. And it's like a Santino Marella worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you knew Santino was never going to be heavyweight champion, but he wasn't there to be heavyweight champion. He was there to entertain people. He found his niche.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the same way with Orange. Orange was somebody can go. I mean, I know he can go. I've seen him. Yep. Back when he wore a mask, what was he called? Back in the day, when he was a nobody, he wore a fucking mask, and I can't remember what he was called.
I can't think of it.
But you knew he could go. But doing the character of Orange Cassidy, that whole, I don't care attitude, is entertaining. But at the same time, I can't take it serious in any sort of way. It's just like when it comes to high profile anything with Orange Cassidy, I just can't take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mainly because of that joke gimmick.
Yep.
And it's like I can never see Orange Cassidy as AEW champion. I just can't visualize that.
He never will be.
Not as that, he'll never be. But as somebody who knows his spot on the show very well, he's very good at.
Yeah. I think the highest, if they do put a belt on it, the highest we're going to see him have is TNT.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I could see him as TNT champion. That I can see. Because then he'll be on TV every week. The kids love him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another thing. And he is marketable.
Yeah.
But the whole, I've been so confused with what's going on with best friends. Sometimes they're best friends. Sometimes what's the team Trent has with the
Roppongi Vice.
Roppongi Vice. They've been doing that shit too. So it's been all this back and forth. And
best friends are part of Chaos, so it just depends on which tag team they're running at the moment.
It's just, but that name is so fitting because it's just kind of what it's been. Is chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like you ain't been able to keep up with one thing. And Trent, I'm sorry, I'm ready for Trent to fucking turn heel and do his own thing. I'm just ready because I think Trent has everything to be the next level pro wrestler.
Yeah.
He's ready to go to the next level. He's been ready for a while, but I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I guess because Best Friends is still pretty marketable. They're probably still selling T-shirts pretty decently.
Oh yeah, I mean those tie-dye things just came out. Those are
they did, didn't they? Yeah, I seen them all wearing them in the crowd, even.
Yep. It's like the main reason is one. If they put those trios titles on the Elite, people are going to cry foul.
Yeah, and I can see why they would.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Kenny comes back immediately, gets a belt.
I don't know. To me, Kenny coming in kind of negates that in a sense. Like, I'm someone who's just like, fuck, I'm so tired of this version of the Bucks. I am. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of seeing Brandon Cutler out there acting a goddamn fool every fucking time I see this shit. Because I'm like, Brandon could be out there having some good fucking matches because he's really good.
He is. I'm ready for him to go back to actually wrestling and not being the goober.
A stooge. He's their stooge. And, and I get it. They're playing a character. They do the shit on being the Elite where they're giving him a hard time while he's fucking recording and shit. And I get it. It's a work. Sooner or later, it'll come to a head. Something will happen. But they're definitely going for the long haul on this one before something happens. But I'm so sick of seeing it. And with Kenny kind of being back, now all of a sudden the lines between babyface and heel have been blurred. It's like, oh, we're happy to see Kenny, but also Don Callis walked out with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, wait a minute. Should I be cheering? Should I not be cheering? Yeah. It's like, I want to see Kenny back, but God, does he got to bring Don Callis with him? And
mixed messages on that.
Callis, Don is such a good heel.
Yeah.
He's so good at being unlikable. I've been watching his shit for so long now. He's so fucking good.
He's by far one of my favorite play-by-play people that have ever done.
Oh, yeah.
New Japan. Him and Kevin Kelly were gold.
Together?
New Japan shows. Oh, my God.
Kevin's such a good babyface announcer.
Mm-hmm.
And Don is just fucking, he's heel up and down.
You know who's Kevin Kelly's announcing foil in New Japan right now? For New Japan Strong, at least.
I have no idea.
Ian Riccaboni.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, that is a great combo. Riccaboni has a recognizable voice. Riccaboni's playing the heel angle. And Kevin Kelly he's fucking Kevin Kelly.
Well, I mean, babyface, man. You can't not like Kevin Kelly.
I know.
On air. You know what I mean?
Well, once you get used to his style and his delivery, you fucking love him. Like, at first, I was just like, And then the more New Japan I watched, I was like, yes, I like this. Continue, Kevin Kelly. Continue. Nice. I will back you forever, Kevin Kelly. Go. Continue.
I will have to say, I do think Best Friends will come out on top if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
If we're both going to agree that the Elite have to not win. Or they win, but they come to the finals, but Best Friends comes out on top.
Yeah.
Because Best Friends, I think, needs it where nobody else needs it.
Yeah. It's like the only reason why I think the only reason Ospreay and them don't lose is just to put the Best Friends over the Elite. But that would be kind of a really roundabout thing. I feel like having a rematch of Orange and Ospreay in a more tempered fashion,
right,
is going to make everything a little better.
And you know that he's going to pull out the best out of Orange. You're going to see Orange really go in this match.
Yeah,
because Ospreay is you're not going to lay about with Ospreay.
No,
just not.
And I know Dark Order's not going to go past. Dark Order already got their sweet victory.
Yeah, and it makes me sad.
Love them. If Dark Order was going to go over, Stu Grayson would still be there, and it would be Stu, Evil Uno, and probably 10. That would probably be, or John Silver 1.
Or
one
John
of those
Silver,
two.
Yeah.
That would be your power trio of Dark Order.
Sooner or later, that's going to fizzle out. I don't know where it's going to go. Because once they started becoming kind of characters and not,
I mean, Anna Jay's already gone, and she was deep.
Anna's already gone. Like I said, Stu Grayson's gone. Colt Cabana's been a no-show for how long?
Colt Cabana's been, by the rumor mill, Colt Cabana is purely ROH now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really? To kind of alleviate the Cabana Punk drama.
Yeah, it's so crazy. They used to be so tight, and they had that falling out a few years back.
Yep.
And I can't believe they hadn't really kind of come to terms.
It is what it is. But so Cabana's in, but not in. And then, Alan Angels left. The death knell for the Dark Order was when Brody Lee died.
It gave them such a huge push there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But you could only ride that wave for so long.
Exactly.
And because I definitely liked them more heelish.
Me too.
And then, like I said, they became sort of fun and silly. And how can you be the Dark Order and be fun and silly? I know it's entertaining for a minute, but now all of a sudden it's kind of lost its luster. And it's like, it's a damn shame because they got so much talent in that group. I mean, everybody, Evil Uno, fucking talented as shit.
Mm-hmm.
10 gonna be a fucking beast someday.
Yeah.
He's on his way,
and Reynolds and Silver are just solid. As a tag team.
They have
really
great
just
matches, man.
Enhance everybody.
They have better matches together. I mean, I think Silver shines better also as a singles, but when him and Reynolds are together, fuck, man, they have some really good synergy between the two of them.
Yeah, they're what they're going to be. They're never going to be tag title champions, but they're going to be one of those tag teams that everyone knows is going to put on a hell of a match, and it's going to make both sides look good.
Sure.
They're going to be your workhorses.
I agree with that.
So, final thoughts. Are we going best friends on this? Or?
I'm going best friends, but mainly because I think AEW is going to want to keep that title at home. And
I will lean best friends. You kind of convinced me on that part, but still, as a backup, just mentally, I kind of secretly want to see them put it on United Empire.
They could swerve us, but I would have to say that United Empire would have to be booked in America quite a bit for the next little bit after winning those titles. And I bet they don't want to be quite honest.
I don't know. They'd definitely be working New Japan Strong, which would be easy enough to book stateside.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. So next, the tag championship. Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed.
Oh, man. I want to see my boys in the Acclaim take it, and I hope they finally do the heel turn, but I don't know if that's going to happen yet.
I really think Keith Lee and Swerve haven't had those belts long enough.
Exactly.
And
I think they got to build this tension just a little more.
Yeah. So I'm going with Lee and Swerve, even though I know the Acclaimed will have those belts one day.
By the way, AML Wrestling, and I'll give them a free little plug here.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a show in Hickory.
Yeah.
On September 24th, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have Brody King's going to be there, and so is the Acclaimed.
Damn, you going?
So yeah, I think we're going to go because we're actually going We're actually going to see Twin Temple and Bridge City Centers in Asheville the night before. Mm-hmm. So we're just like, fuck it. We can just stop at Hickory on the way home and catch that wrestling show.
There you go.
You know?
Good plan. Good plan.
Right.
Good, solid plan.
All
right. Just because there's not a ton to talk about, because we know how the Acclaimed works out, and we know how over they are. We also know how Swerve and Keith Lee are pretty well over.
Yeah.
It's just,
though we know that it's about to implode any minute.
Oh, yeah. That tag team is going to dissolve on itself just because of Swerve Strickland's giant persona.
Well, his persona, the character's ego,
yeah,
is going to be just too much. And sooner or later, don't get me wrong, they actually work well together.
Oh, they do.
But as characters, they couldn't be polar opposite.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So you kind of know from the beginning, this is on its way to, destruction sooner or later. But this will not be it. It's just not had enough time. They've only give out a few hints here so far. You know, they hadn't really built on it as much. And the Acclaimed are coming off strong after the whole Gun Club shit.
Yeah, Billy is the unofficial adopted dad of the Acclaimed now.
Oh, the Acclaimed, yeah.
Yeah.
And another reason why I want to go to this AML show is I definitely want to hear what Max Caster's going to spit on the way to the ring.
Oh, God.
Because it's not televised, you know what I mean? Like,
it's going to be ridiculous, and it's going to insult Hickory so hard.
Oh, so bad. I cannot wait.
Yeah. So next, you've got the TBS title, Jade versus Athena. I mean, bar none, Jade's going to be out-wrestled like crazy.
For sure. We've talked about this before. Jade's just not got to the point where she can lead a match.
No.
She hasn't. But she's smart enough and athletic enough to pull off getting pulled through the match.
Yeah.
And being told what to do. And
her ring acumen is much more than it used to be. And, you can see, little glimmers of ingenuity.
Yeah. But, I mean, she's been working with Daniel Bryan. So,
yeah.
She's getting better.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think so many people forget, a lot of these people, especially in AEW, they've been on the indies for years. Jade, it was just, she's athletic, she's got a look, we can make her a wrestler.
Yeah.
And they're right to an extent, but she's also, she's still in her Goldberg period.
Yeah.
And it'll be a minute before she really, really gets there. But right now, paired with the right people, Athena will. I don't think Athena's going to win.
No,
they're still going to keep the title on Jade.
Yeah.
And Jade's cutting killer promos. She's coming off like a straight bitch, and I'm loving it. When it comes to her heel persona, Athena, on the other hand, I've always liked her work.
Oh yeah.
But I think she's definitely going to make Jade look like a fucking $1 million. Got to.
Yeah. My thoughts are, and I've mentioned this multiple times in the past, is Jade, to me, even though I want her to drop this belt to Athena so bad, Jade's not dropping this belt till she hits triple digits.
Yeah, I agree.
She's not. Once she hits triple digits, she'll drop that belt.
Yeah.
But it's not happening before then.
No, they've got too much invested in her and too much of a build right now for her, and no one's really going to beat her anytime soon unless it's going to be severely important for this title to change to somebody.
Yeah.
And I don't know who that person's going to be right yet, but it'll mean something huge to whoever takes this title from Jade.
Indeed. Indeed. So, from there, we move into the big four-way dance, since Thunder Rosa, as we've mentioned numerous times already, has, had to relinquish the title or not relinquish, because for some reason the fucking word of the fucking month for AEW now is fucking interim champions, which I think is goddamn bullshit. Strip them of the fucking title if they're injured. I mean, as much as I hate seeing Rosa drop a belt that way, fucking do it. Just tear the fucking Band-Aid off.
Right. Well, I don't know if this whole interim thing is to make it sound more legit, like, UFC has interim champions when shit like happens, and then the real champion comes back, faces the interim champion, and then whoever wins is the real champion. Mm-hmm. I also think, even in UFC, the interim champions are just bullshit, because you're never technically looked at as a champion, and you never will be.
This is the third fucking one this year.
Is it the third? I thought it was the second. What's the... Because it's Moxley.
Or you forget, earlier in the year, Cody and Sammy.
Fuck, I did totally forget about that. Yes, you are correct. I forgot.
Third one. I mean, it technically started end of 2021.
Yeah.
But it didn't finish until 2022.
That totally makes sense.
Third one this year. That is one too many trips to the well.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think it's a bullshit thing. Mm-hmm. Interim it's like...
I mean, either one...
WWE, as much as we give it shit, has never done that.
Yeah. It's like you've got two fucking options. The option you should never take is this one.
Yeah, don't make interim champions.
Yeah, don't do it. Just fucking leave the belt off the air, or make it not defended. Or, well, you've got three options. Sorry. One, this one. Don't do it. Two, have the champ keep the belt and work pure promo spots until they're healthy enough to get back in the ring.
Yeah, how many times has that actually been done? You know what I'm saying?
Loads.
That's the thing to actually do.
Yeah. And then finally, the more New Japan quasi-real sport angle, strip them of the belt. Remember when Moxley couldn't travel to defend the U.S. title? Well, they fucking stripped him of it. They didn't do some bullshit interim U.S. title champ and have a unification match later. No, they fucking stripped him of it.
My only thing is, I think that was just someone's idea to make it sound more legitimate. Yeah. Because legitimate fighting companies do that, but even people within those fighting companies hate that shit.
Yeah, I think the most legitimate way is to strip, or have the champ still stay a fixture of television, but not actively perform. Have them do
I totally agree.
Promos and just work an angle. Make the other people work hard as fuck to get to that point where they're going to go up against them as soon as they're healthy.
Right. I totally agree with that. That would be the course of action I would take.
Yeah, that I think is best. But we've got a pretty good layout here. We've got two former champs and then two just gnarly and good, all-around performers. Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, and Hikaru has already held that belt, so has Britt.
I think Hikaru still has the longest title reign.
I'm a fan. I've always liked her.
I have too. I was sad when after she lost that belt, she just sort of disappeared forever.
I know she went back to Japan for a little.
She worked a lot of the Japanese shows. I know she's worked quite a bit recently. I know she's doing some matches on Dark and everything. I think she's just kind of been working more indie stuff.
Yeah.
And getting a little more experience under her belt. So, I mean, she can only get better.
Oh, yeah.
And
for
sure. This match right here, I think, is just a springboard for Toni Storm.
Right.
They're not going to shit on the Storm versus Thunder Rosa angle so soon.
Yeah.
And I think
the way to get it to come back.
This is the way to get it come back even more heated.
Yeah.
Because Thunder Storm is a great fucking tag team.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit writes itself. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better team name to just pop up organically.
All I know is it would be hard for me as a booker not to put Jamie Hayter over.
I know.
But for business, yeah, you got to put it on Tony.
Tony's going to do it because
got to put it on Tony.
This is the match where the Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter underlying drama comes to a head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's been long played, long boiling underneath. This is when those two are going to get in each other's way.
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely going to see something in this match. We're going to see something unravel between the two of them. And like I said, it's like, first of all, Britt don't need that title.
No.
Sheeta don't really need that title. Like I said, Sheeta was already longest running champion. Hayter's just going to be in there to do some fucking. He's going to have some killer spots.
She's the monster.
She is the monster. She's going to have some killer fucking spots. But overall, Tony is going to be the one that comes out over it all because being in, the AEW environment, she kind of needs this to go to that next level. She's super marketable. Yep. And we already thought, she was on her way to work Thunder Rosa. So now this way, I feel like she's really earned the right to face the champion.
Exactly. I'm 100% backing Tony Storm on this one, even though Hayter would be a close second. Though out of the four,
I would just pick Hayter out of just because of how I like her work. That has nothing to do with actual storyline or anything.
No. Now, I feel like when you said that, there was a very suggestive wink. It was an honest statement on two levels.
Okay.
And by work, you like the way she works it. No diggity.
No diggity, no doubt. That's a fact.
Walked into that one.
Jamie's got all the right things. That's for sure. And
the camera guys now.
The camera guys are definitely getting some good shots. I'm like, my God, to be an AEW camera guy. But Jamie though, Jamie's legit.
She's damn good.
She fucking is a bruiser.
Yeah, ever since she came back from her extended absence.
Yes, ever since she's been a whole different person, man. A whole different person. And I dig where she's going with it.
Me too. All right, so last one, Mox versus TBA. So what are our TBA thoughts? Is it going to be a work injury angle, Mox v Punk, for a clean win, or is it going to be Mox and a returning MJF, or what?
Well, honestly, after what they did on Dynamite already with fucking Punk, I think it would be too early to throw Punk back in there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to work that fucking foot now. If that was the whole reason you lost is because you hit that kick and then you weren't ready to come back and now you've re-injured yourself. So how are you going to be ready in a week?
It's true.
To throw Punk back in there would be asinine after that. That is one thing that made me angry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of like, you've ruined what could have been a really good pay-per-view match. But I don't know the specifics. I don't know if Punk, still isn't 100% and they're just sort of milking this for what it's worth or what. But I'm definitely leaning towards MJF showing back up.
I could see it happening. I really could.
But would he win? Would he be the one going over? I don't know. Yeah. Mox is a tricky cat because Mox is not somebody they like to have lose a lot.
No, not at all. And usually if Mox is going to lose, it has to either be through nefarious means, which is the only way that MJF would ever win against Mox.
Right.
Or 2, someone just has to beat the ever-living dog shit out of him.
Yeah. Yep. And
all right. It's a rematch. It's Mox and Tana.
Say what now?
It's Mox and Tanahashi.
Oh, no shit. They just announced it?
No, I just said it. It just came.
Oh. I was like, holy shit. Did you just get news?
No, I wish.
I like, because that would still be great, too. Don't get me wrong. That would be awesome. We know we'd get a good, strong style match out of that, for sure. But no, Tanahashi. Oh, fuck. But, yeah, I would... If MJF's going to be a part of it, we'll see Wednesday. Something's got to happen. He can't just show up.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the same feel. Mm-hmm. He's got to do something to Mox. He's got to get into Mox's head with his bullshit.
Yeah.
And we ain't got much time.
No, that'd be a real fast build for an MJF mind game.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets under people's skin really quickly, but he also, if he does it the right way, he takes his time doing it.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know on that either. So I don't know who's going to be in that position. But like I said, it could have been MJF, but it should have been MJF already. They should have already implemented him.
Yeah.
So unless they got something big planned that we don't know about that's going to work. Because like I said, I want to see MJF back, but I want to see him back in the right way and put in the right position.
I don't see them bringing in anyone new this year because, again, the roster's really bloated. It'd be stupid of them to do it. The most I could see is them bringing back someone we haven't seen in a long time. And there aren't many of those.
There aren't many of those. Well, I mean, it wasn't long ago that half the damn roster was injured.
Yeah, it's true.
It seemed like so.
So we're in a weird spot. It's like,
what do you do? I mean, even as a booker right now, you'd be like, "Fuck, what do I do now?" Mm-hmm. It's basically less than a week till the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
How are we going to build something up big enough for this match to mean something?
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't want to do like an easy out where you go a champion versus champion match and like just throw, since he owns 2 companies, throw Claudio against Mox. That would be stupid because then you're going to create pointless drama within the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
And they're still too new a faction to be going that route.
Oh, yeah. They ain't ready for that yet. Eddie Kingston will come out of suspension.
Ooh, let's
I'm gonna slap my best friend.
let's mend a bridge with Impact and just bring Josh Alexander over.
That would be an interesting matchup for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we know Alexander can fucking go.
God Almighty, can he ever?
And it would force Mox to wrestle.
Well, I mean that, or it'll be intergender. Maybe Jordan Grace will come over from Impact.
I mean, Mox wouldn't care.
Maybe Jordan will get color out of this. God knows Mox is going to.
But here's how they mend fences with Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah. We're going to put your wife over the AEW.
No. They're going to put Jonathan Gresham in there.
Oh, put Gresham in there. Because
that would be an interesting matchup. It'll never happen.
Right. I still hate what, the whole shit with Gresham. I really do, man. I think that dude has got talent out the wazoo, and it just sucks because the dude's a midget. I mean, he really is. He's just small, even for the small guys in wrestling. But God Almighty, is he good?
God, he's so good.
His talent should overshadow that. I mean,
I agree. I just really don't know. I'm going to have to, I guess, because we've got so many options, we're going to be a winner. No matter what, the surprise will be good for us.
Right.
But
they have to say something Wednesday, right?
Yeah, for right now.
Something Wednesday.
For right now, do you want to go with the safe bet and say Mox is going to get it, or do you want to go with the surprise entrance wins?
I would say that Mox is going to keep it for a minute, because I'd say no matter who's going to be in this position, that it won't be long before CM Punk's right back in there.
Yeah, I would say the only person who they could bring in as a surprise that would actually have a claim to that title and win it would be Tanahashi. Because they wrestled each other.
And it'd be another New Japan tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
And in a high-profile match.
That tournament series.
Yeah. I mean, another in the high-profile match, because we know Ospreay and his crew are already going to be in a high-profile situation. They're already facing the Elite.
Yep.
It's not even the fucking finals. So
I know.
So if you get somebody like Tanahashi in here, who's a legend,
mm-hmm.
That's going to be, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But yet again, also not enough time to really have a good build. The only real build to this match is fans know it's going to be a slobber knocker, in the words of JR. If you know that any guy, not just Tanahashi, any top guy from New Japan versus Jon Moxley is going to be rough.
Mm-hmm. They'll have to bring in somebody from another company that's known for working that Mox style and just have it down and fucking dirty.
Yeah.
So I mean, will we see Mox versus Suzuki round 7? Who knows?
All I know is I just don't see them especially after the squash on CM Punk, which it was a storytelling smart. The squash itself, like using that term lightly. Mm-hmm. Like usually a squash is just the guys come in, the other guys get no opposition, and it's done and over with.
Yeah,
they just got crushed.
Yeah.
This was more the telling the story of, hey, I'm not done, I'm not ready yet. Mm-hmm. Because that kick looked great, but the minute he hit and he worked it, like, oh, my foot's fucked up again. Because I'm like, dude, you were just last week jumping on one foot to show that you're healed.
That's what fucked it up.
Yeah, that was that fucking jumping on it. The one-legged jump on it.
Yep.
Jumping around the ring fucked your shit up.
Mm-hmm.
You should have known better, asshole.
Damn it, Phil.
Damn it, Phil. Just don't go back to UFC, please. Please don't. Stay here, where you belong.
You're a pro wrestler, not a prize fighter. I'm sorry.
You're no KO, buddy. Whose whole gimmick was basically being a prize fighter, which I thought was hilarious.
Yep.
Anyways, Mox is going to hold this for a while. I didn't like Mox losing it the first time. I thought Mox is a good champion. Thought he was a good representation of our company.
I really hope that if Mox gets this belt again, they dial back the Mox match formula some, because it's starting to grow stale. Every one of his matches is almost color by numbers.
Well,
just insert new person he's going to bleed at.
The bleeding is one thing. Like, I don't agree with it every time. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we get it. And I get you're working a rough style, so you want it to come off as authentic as possible. Mm-hmm. But if you fucking get color every match, it's, that to me is like, you'll get this, because you're a music fan. Mm-hmm. To me, pop music in general, like the idea of pop music, just the simple layout of a pop song, can be just as boring. Well, take some kind of generic black metal band. Can be just as boring as any pop band.
Yeah.
If your whole song is nothing but blast beats and the same fucking one chord 1,000 times, no matter what your guitar tone is, no matter how heavy you think you're just being a one-trick pony.
Yep.
And so Mox is kind of, because I don't think Mox is a one-trick pony by any means. I enjoy the roughness. I enjoy the whole. I like the idea of him throwing the elbows and shit on the when they got him, spread the arm and then throw it down on the neck. I like that shit. I like seeing him get down and dirty and gritty and fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
But I do agree that shit can get formulaic.
Yeah, I just want Mox's actual, technical wrestling side to come back out a little more. He's been leaning too much on the bruiser style. I want him to be forced to bring some of that shit that he was using in New Japan when he first left WWE.
Right.
Because he was wrestling. I mean, he had the fucking shooter trunks on, the shooter boots. He was going to fucking town. He was working a fucking raw-ass, hard-nosed style, but he was still, using some finesse in it as well.
Yeah.
Right now, he's kind of.
He's still nowhere near as formulaic as he was the last little bit he was in WWE.
It's true.
I could call a match that he was doing something he would do before he done it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, ever since AEW, his swagger's changed, his attitude's changed, but yeah, he's doing some of the same brutal shit, which I do like seeing the brutal shit. But yeah, if I'm seeing it every time, you desensitize his brutality.
Exactly.
So, but like I said, I don't hate Mox at all. I think he's a perfect choice for champion. How funny is it now in the top two companies are two guys from the Shield?
Yeah, I know that's another thing that was going around. It's like Mox and Reigns, the two champs in the two big companies, and then they show Rollins, and he's just like, I don't have anything.
I don't got any. Just my work, pal.
It makes me sad.
Oh man,
but damn. This week it's gonna be fucking off the rails. I'm ready to watch Dynamite and everything this week leading into Friday's Go Home show before All Out. It's gonna be damn good. I may try to watch some of the WWE shit this week. Who knows?
I'm definitely going to catch up on some highlights and stuff.
Oh yeah, sure. Undoubtedly. But because we already passed the I gotta stop at this time Chapel talk, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. So there's our predictions. I've asked plenty of times if you've got any, share them, please. All three of you that still listen to us.
Prove us wrong, you three.
Yes, all three of you. Tell us your predictions. You can email it to us. You can post it on the Facebook page. I won't even be mad. I'm going to try and get predictions from John and Grayson to share on the Facebook post this week. Just get everybody involved. Get a little more interaction going. Keep an eye out because, like I said, while we're moving towards the new format, we're probably just going to pop in every once in a while with episodes for predictions and things.
Yes.
But with that, again, of course, we're in all the usual places. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Most of those things only get updated when I post a new episode. Instagram being the one that's updated the least, but that's only because, I'm the only one doing it. So when the new format comes along, I think it'll more easily lend itself to Instagram, but follow ahead of time so that way you're there at the ground floor.
For sure.
Just so you know. And once that new format comes along, we'll let you know. We'll do a big release. We'll probably do some episode numbering changes for that as opposed to the core show numberings. We're just giving everyone kind of a heads up. That's all it is. Trying to build the hype up. But we're not going to tell you what we're going to do just yet. That's a secret.
Kayfabe, motherfuckers.
Exactly. Well, with that, thanks as always to Chapel for being my official co-host.
Thanks for having me again, man. Love doing it.
You're welcome all the time, man. You're no longer a guest. Like I said, you're an unofficial, official co-host.
I just feel like I'm one of the boys now.
Yep, one of the boys. One of the boys back there ribbing in the locker room. But yeah. Thanks again, and then thanks to Falcon for holding down the fort, making us sound good, and Polar, all those gents, the good folk. Good folk indeed. And, well, with that, we'll catch you next time. Enjoy the show. Bye.
See you guys.